There's some stuff too that an agent doesn't really have to be part of NAR anymore either to be part of that MLS. And so I don't know.
Well, I think
We'll see.
here's the problem.
It hasn't all been finalized. So
I think that they want us to change our industry, right? So I get it. So just like every other industry has been disrupted, they want to come in and change the way real estate's sold. Well, guess what? You're going to get, let's say you start paying a 1% payout, right? Like I look at, and I'll say it publicly, Lennar does this right now. They're under a 2% payout. They offer a flat fee now. If you look on the MLS, a lot of their properties will say we're paying $12,377. And to a consumer, you go, that's a lot of money. I wouldn't leave that laying on a park bench. But in reality, your whole business model has been built on a 2.7, not a 1.7. So what ends up happening is that buyer, in theory, I mean, yes, thank you very much. It's 12. What if you spent 4 years trying to find that person a house and you have 210 hours into it? You do the math on that, guys, right? And it's like, you start going, well, geez, that's not as much as I thought it would be or whatever, right? And it's like, you have these clients that are getting top level service, drop everything, drive them out there, show them the houses, represent them well, guide them on their purchasing decisions so they don't make a catastrophic $30, $50, $80,000 mistake. I think buyers think that money is well spent, even though they know they're paying a little bit more for that house. This is a bunch of greedy attorneys that got together and are full of a bunch of crap, in my opinion, coming after and saying, we didn't know. Well, you're an attorney. You should know. Then you obviously don't read your contracts and you shouldn't be an attorney in the first place.
Is that going to make you feel better to get us paid, or do you want us to sell it in a day so you can kind of move on to where you are?
I just had that happen last week where one of our properties, I mean, we over marketed this. I mean, we were reaching. We did everything we possibly could do to market this property. They said to us, well, it's sold in a day. Do you give us a deal?
Yeah.
I'm like, you have no idea. I spent 4 times as much on your property to market it than I do a normal property, but you can't really say that to somebody. You got to look at this. Ladies and gentlemen that are selling your houses. What do I get? What do you charge? Don't just argue about what the percentage is. What am I getting for 6%? This is the best way to shop a real estate agent, by the way. So if I pay you 3% and you pay out 3% on the other side so that the agents are favorable, with your 3%, what kind of marketing are you going to perform for me to promote my property to the public, to give me the best offer possible? There is a huge difference between real estate agents, and that's what you really need to be shopping.
But if we haven't positioned it right to be able to make the most amount of money, we haven't done our job. And that's where I think the difference is between realtors. I always kind of do a range pricing because by the time we go to the market, we don't know. It could have changed. We could have different competition. The interest rates could have gone up, or we could have been funding $700 billion to Ukraine and consumer confidence is down. So we get it, and it comes down to it. And I said, you know what? I feel like 369 is the right price to go with it. We got people excited right away. We get 401,000.
My 24 years of doing this, Chris, I can count on one hand the times where the deals where a buyer and a seller got together on their own, and I didn't think they got screwed. I think that our jobs as real estate agents are going to get to be a wider variety of services over the next couple of years. I think you're still going to be paying what we're worth.
Just don't be disrespectful, but you don't have to just bow to them either. They make you think everything you say is going to be held against you, and they'll question it. It's just, you can't think of them that way.
I think real estate should be a division of the marketing, not law necessarily. You take a couple law classes on understanding contract law, but I don't legally give any legal advice. I don't need to be an attorney. My contracts are written. What I'm doing is I'm guiding people on marketing. I'm guiding people on negotiating.
The more you know of that, the better, typically, the better service you're going to give to someone too. So there is a lot to say about, the commission, and, you pay for what you get. And there's some things you shouldn't have to pay for. I totally agree. Commission's always been negotiable. Always will be. And so you have the right to be able to do what you want, whatever works best.
I do understand. There's times where people, when you look at what did you pay for a service, and you have to say, okay, what did I get? What did that person provide? Is it the best doctor in the whole hospital or the best doctor in the state, right? What are you buying? Or did I want a rookie that it doesn't really matter because this is a no-brainer and I don't really value their marketing skills and I don't value their negotiating skills because we're going to get what we're going to get anyway.